Kopi ko brown. Saktong timpla, sarap pampa-up. Try this.
Sarap!
Pampa-up. Kopi ko brown, sarap pampa-up.
For 3 times stronger protection from intense tooth sensitivity, use Sensodyne Repair and Protect. Shop now.
Are transaction fees cutting into your profits?
Launch your online store with hosting.
Today, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to go ahead and unlock can spawn up here. Now, let's get into the next location where it could potentially spawn, and that's going to go ahead and be on the desert island. So 2 can spawn here. You have that first spot and that second spot. And now, no, they do spawn every 10 minutes. So what I did is I created a private server, and as you can see, the time there's 4 minutes. So nothing's going to spawn in until 10 minutes. So while I wait for this to spawn in, I'll go show you each location. Now, the next location is they can spawn on this rooftop right here, or they can actually spawn in on this rooftop over here. And then after that, I do believe an Easter egg can spawn on the top of that right there as well. Now, the next fly is going to be at Snow Island, so if we go ahead. And teleport over to Snow Island, you guys are going to see that if you go behind this like wooden shack, whatever this is called, apparently behind this area right here, in this any of this deck area, that's actually possible for it to spawn in. Yeah, actually, I believe it's like right about here. It's going to just check this whole deck area when you're running through. Then the next area, I believe, is going to go ahead and be, if we go to Shinjuku, I think, the city, we need to go, or Sequoia Station, we go here, teleport here, and it's going to be at one of these buildings, and I do believe it's going to be this one right if we head and jump up here, yep, it's going to be behind here. It's going to spawn, I believe, let me check, down here, right about here. This is going to be another location. That I can actually spawn in. Anyways, let's go to the very next location, which is going to be on the top of this brown area right here. So this brown billboard area, you can see that it's actually possible for it to spawn in. I believe it's in one of these corners. I cannot remember which one it is, but they do. You have a chance to spawn here. Whenever that clock hits 10 minutes, these are all the locations you want to check. Now let's get to the next location, which I believe is going to be at a different island, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the next one is going to be over here at Hollow Island, right? And it's going to spawn in, I think, this area right here in this little movie thing. Inside of this. It spawns inside of this. It looks like it's blocked off, but it does spawn inside of this video that the developer sends. I believe you can just claim it. I mean, I don't think you can go in here, but I believe you should be able to come from the outside. But that is one of the locations. So check that. The next one is going to be, I believe, this tree right here, if I'm not mistaken. Go to the top of this tree. It's going to be on this branch right here. The next block. Is going to be Shinjuku, I believe. Let me check. So if we go over here, we need to go to Shinjuku Island, and we need to go over to building in the back. It's kind of destroyed. It kind of slanted as well. Let me find it. Run over here. I believe it is this building right here, and you're gonna actually find it. It should be right along this line right here. So again, make sure you're checking all these spots. The next one is going to be on top of one of these buildings. So find it really quickly. I believe it is this one right here. This looks the closest to, yeah, the actual image. All right, then the next one is going to go ahead and be, let's run back to the portal, and this is going to be, I don't know what island this is. So the next one's going to be at Slime Island. The next couple, let's teleport over to Slime Island right here. The next one, let's see, the location that could potentially spawn in is going to be outside of this little ring. right here. So if you run all the way out, it's going to be back here on this line. It should be right about here. It should spawn in this area. And then after that, we have a another location, so let's go run to it. So that's going to be over here. I need to get to the different islands. It's going to be at the Castle Island, I believe. So let's get into the teleporter. Academy Island. Go ahead, teleport here. It's going to be right about here that the next one will spawn in. Then the next one is at this, like, when I get stuck inside of this. Oh my god, I'm lagging so bad. It's actually terrible. Get me out of this thing. So yeah, this is the next spot to spawn in. They're about to spawn in my server. First, I'm trying to make this really quick. They despawn after 7 minutes, so keep that in mind. Let's go over to the next, like, snowy island, Judgment Island. The next one is going to be up. It should be on one of these two big ones over here. So it can spawn in, I believe, on this one or any of these small ones that are popping up. It's going to spawn on top, and then there's another spot over by the side where these crystals come out. So if we go up over here, all right, it's going to be next to this big crystal that pops out. I believe it right here. The next location, I can see it actually. She found a first fragment. This is going to be one of the fragments. Obviously, like I said, all these locations I've showed you so far are locations that they can spawn in. Then the next thing, next location is going to be over at, it should be Ninja Island, and it's going to be on top of one of these like weird tower things. Let me find it. Maybe it's just, it looks like it's just a tree. I believe one can spawn right here at the top of this tree, and then and after that, we have, if we teleport to one of the last islands, the Lawless Island, it can actually spawn all the way over here behind this. So let's check this real quick. So yeah, it can spawn right here. Here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and collect all of them so I can trade the next quest. So yeah. Oh yeah, so another 10 minutes have passed. I waited for this to spawn in, and as you can see, like I said, boom, we now have the ancient dragon. I'm just screenshot it. Collect all 7 map pieces from defeated boss. 7 map pieces. Let's figure out what that is. All right, so essentially there's bosses that you have to kill. That will draw the piece. So I just killed the Vampire King, and apparently it's RNG. So this is one of the bosses you need to kill. It gave me the 7 map pieces. So I'm gonna just go through every single island and just kill every boss and see if we go ahead and get it. And again, they did say it's RNG. I did get it the first try when I tried killing him. So it doesn't look like I got him. Apparently it's gonna be a little bit of a nightmare to do, especially because you have to wait for them to respawn. But someone said it's also a Shibuya station, so I believe we need to go get rid of all of these bosses. Bosses and see if we can get the puzzle piece. So I got the first one from that other. Let's see, boom, I get one from him. Go over the one with the sorcerer, try to get this guy. All right, so yeah, there we go. There's another one that we just got. So now we have 2 of 7 pieces collected. So literally what I recommend is genuinely just going around and killing every single boss, because that's, I think, how we're gonna have to do this. Someone said, I'm not sure if this is true, we need to spawn in the Queen Shi boss. Let me go ahead and kill this guy. Someone said we have to kill the Queen Shi. I'm not sure. Let me just go ahead and check. I'll kill this guy like a few times. So it looks like we haven't gone up any, so I don't know if Queen Shi is actually the one we have to kill or not. We go over. Apparently we also need to spawn in and Blessed Maiden. We haven't gotten anything from killing this boss yet, so. All right, so Saber boss is going to be the Yojo boss, the Gojo boss is going to be 2, or the Sukuna boss. So the boss I'm killing right now is apparently the 3rd one, but I haven't really gotten it yet. So I will on screen have each of the numbers and things so that way you can follow along. Gilgamesh, strongest in history is going to be 7, so strongest A is 6, Blessed Maiden is 6. Okay, so I'm going to go and try to spawn some of these in. I already killed the Sailor boss. I'm going to go ahead and try to spawn in the Shingoku, or the whatever it's called. Okay. All right, yeah, so we get another one from killing the strongest of today. Now I believe we need to kill a strongest in history, or strongest in the world of today, and then strongest in history, so I'm just going to auto. So yes, this very much is going to take you a bit of time to do. Kill this guy. I don't think I have. Okay, here's the strongest in history. I'm going to go ahead and just farm him, I guess. Hopefully I can get it. Again, this is entirely RNG, so that's kind of frustrating, but I'm going to go ahead and get these on the back. All right, yeah, so that's going to be on screen, all the bosses, and then the next quest, I'm going to honestly just wrap the video up here. But the next quest after this is going to be finding 7 Easter eggs around the map. These
I was totally wrong about the slime sword and sailor piece, because at first I thought it was the most annoying sword in the game, because to fully unlock it on top of everything you need to defeat 10,000 enemies. But then I tried getting the Shadow Monarch sword and got fully humbled, because the real issue with unlocking the F move for the Shadow Monarch is the final step, which requires taking down 25 shadow soldiers from the double dungeon, which on the surface doesn't seem so bad, until you realize the spawn rates for them are insanely low, and that's why this took me days to unlock. I was totally wrong about the slime sword and sailor piece, because at first I thought it was the most annoying sword in the game, because to fully unlock it on top of everything you need to defeat 10,000 enemies. But then I tried getting the Shadow Monarch sword and—
Sir? Person in the hall? Oh, sorry.
Hello, I am Dr. Sean Murphy. I am a surgeon.
I can't find my socks. And I can't find the button to call someone.
Sean took the call button from the cabinet behind him and handed it to him. But Hill then asked Sean for a pair of socks. Sean had no choice but to go look for them. Hill told Sean he had mild heart failure and had fainted while walking in the park. Sean could not find any socks and was about to go buy some, just as he was about to leave.
Why do you guys keep it so cold in here? My feet are freezing.
Sean suddenly sensed something was off, so he went to Dr. Andrew and told them what he had noticed. Sean believed Hill's blood vessel had been damaged during his last surgery, and if they operated on him again, it could tear the vessel and cause serious consequences. But Dr. Paul did not believe he could have made a surgical mistake. Andrew said Paul was an expert in heart surgery. His experience was more than 10 times the combined total of the three of them, so there was no way he made a mistake. But Sean still suggested doing an angiogram to check. Paul said Hill had just had open heart surgery not long ago. There was no need to add another procedure and he was sure nothing went wrong. Dr. Andrew also got upset and told Sean to leave right away. Compared to the young Sean, he clearly trusted the experienced expert Paul more. Sean had no choice but to agree and leave.
You will kill him.
After Sean left, Paul told Andrew, if it were up to him he would have fired Sean already. Later, one of Sean's colleagues told him that Hill's angiogram showed no issues at all. He believed Sean's judgment was wrong. Just as Paul was about to operate on Hill, Sean rushed in, because he realized his earlier judgment was wrong. Hill's cold feet were caused by aortic stenosis, not vessel damage. But Paul ignored him and continued the surgery.
No, it's too close. You're too close. Stop! Stop! Stop, please, stop!
BP spiking 200/100, heart rate's up, he's gonna stroke.
After Paul removed the guide wire, Hill's blood pressure returned to normal. That was when they finally believed Sean was right. Sean said Paul had not made any mistake in the surgery, but Hill had congenital aortic stenosis. The guide wire could not pass through the narrowed artery at all, because it would damage the vessel. After that, Paul invited Sean to assist in the surgery. Under Sean's guidance, the operation went smoothly, but just as Paul was about to close, the nurse handed him an antibiotic flush syringe. That was when he realized he had almost closed without flushing. After the surgery, Paul told Andrew,
I'm quitting surgery.
I don't understand. When did you decide?
I nearly closed up without doing a final antibiotic lavage.
But you didn't.
It was a tiny error.
I always told myself once I started making tiny errors, I'd stop before I made a big one. Dr. Murphy, it was nice sewing with you.
Sir? Person in the...
This internet celebrity with tens of millions of followers.
This is what a top-tier human is. Her name...
Web design secrets. Everyone.
Zima Blue is the world's top painter. His canvas isn't just paper, it's the entire universe. But at the center of every painting, there is always a mysterious blue. People are drawn to this blue and call it Zima Blue. But Zima's work had only just begun. As he created more, the blue kept changing and growing larger. When people wondered where his art would lead, he revealed a massive pure blue painting, and Zima rose to fame. Yet this universe-class artist chose to dismantle himself at the height of his career. Zima started by painting human portraits, but the human form could no longer satisfy his creative desire. He turned his focus to the universe and began creating vast cosmic murals. These grand works were immediately celebrated by the public, but there was always a blue in his mind. He placed this blue at the center of his paintings. The blue grew larger, took on different shapes, and eventually covered the entire universe. Even then, he was not satisfied. To explore the true source of this blue, Zima completely transformed his body. He no longer needed to breathe and could freely walk in the vacuum of space. His eyes could detect all spectra of light. Soon he began traveling across the universe, searching for the origin of the blue. In the end, he remembered everything. He invited the world's top journalist to interview him and tell the story of his life.
Long ago, it belonged to a talented young woman with a keen interest in practical robotics. She created dozens of robots to do odd jobs around her house.
Every time he hunted, the man would patiently wait for prey to come near. As the sound grew louder, he quickly turned and aimed, but instead of prey, he found himself facing an adult tiger. The tiger stared at him intently, as if ready to pounce at any moment. But the man had already aimed and yet hesitated to pull the trigger, because he spotted 2 tiger cubs nearby. The tiger sensed the danger of the gun in the hunter's hands, but driven by the instinct to protect its young, it lunged forward. The hunter deliberately avoided hitting the tiger's vital organs, knowing that if the mother tiger died, the 2 cubs would never survive the winter. The mother tiger fought with all her might to protect her cubs, her eyes showing no sign of retreat. Just as Jack was about to leave, a gunshot suddenly echoed in the distance. The mother tiger collapsed. The 2 cubs immediately ran over. The one-eyed cub even let out a low roar, as if venting the pain of losing its mother. At that moment, the person who fired the shot walked over. His face showed no mercy, and he even wanted to kill the cubs on the spot. Fortunately, Jack stopped him in time. Seeing Jack's firm resolve, Victor had no choice but to give up. To prevent the cubs from freezing to death, Jack carried them into a cave. As soon as he put them down, the timid cub immediately hid deeper inside. The one-eyed tiger cub continued to bare its teeth and growl at it, perhaps out of guilt. Jack didn't leave right away. He caught a wild chicken, placed it at the cave entrance, then quietly stepped back to observe. The cubs caught the scent of food and carefully emerged from the cave. Once they confirmed it was safe, they dragged the food inside. This warmth couldn't heal the cubs' pain, but it was all he could do. Winter passed quickly, but he remained anxious about them. He returned to the cave and was shocked by what he saw. The once timid cub lay motionless on the ground, while the one-eyed cub was nowhere to be found. Years later, news spread of a tiger attacking the village. When Jack arrived, he saw Victor sitting on the ground, his face filled with terror, claw marks visible across his body, cradling his lifeless wife in his arms. His trembling hands pointed toward the village. Jack's wife and child were still there. Jack grabbed his rifle and ran toward the village, but didn't get far before an eerie silence fell over everything. He sensed danger. He held his breath, caught a faint movement, and without hesitation, fired in that direction. But just as he was about to turn back, a deep tiger's roar sounded behind him. Jack didn't dare look back, but he could feel an enormous tiger standing right behind him. The one-eyed cub from years ago had become the true Tiger King. The Tiger King caught a familiar scent but didn't attack. It simply turned and walked away. Jack finally exhaled in relief, but then a horrifying thought struck him like lightning. If the tiger was behind him, then who did he just shoot? He rushed back to the scene and slowly looked at the figure on the ground. In that moment, he was struck as if by thunder. Lying there was his wife. From that moment on, Jack became a hollow shell. Later, he left the hunting team, dedicating himself solely to caring for his son. But Victor, who had also lost a loved one, refused to give up. His feud with the Tiger King officially began. Every time he hunted, The man would patiently wait for prey to come near. As the sound grew louder, he quickly turned and aimed, but instead of prey, he found himself facing.
I was at the concert when it hit me. This whole massive show with tens of thousands of people felt like it was set up just for me. On the surface, I'm a kind and caring father, but underneath...
This whole concert? It's a trap.
I looked around carefully and realized every exit was sealed shut. Getting out of the strap during intermission. I had my daughter try to buy the last souvenir shirt to start a dispute, then stepped in politely to win the vendor over. The move definitely impressed him. During our chat, I casually asked why there were so many cops. Sure enough, this gossipy guy gave me the answer.
You know the
For an event. To make things worse, I kept seeing men wearing the same color shirt as me being taken away by officers one after another. Men wearing the same color shirt as me for an event. To make things worse, I kept seeing men wearing the same color shirt as me being taken away by officers one after another for questioning. I knew I was in serious trouble. To escape quickly, I went to a merchandise stall during intermission. I had my daughter try to buy the last souvenir shirt to start a dispute, then realized every exit was sealed shut. Getting out of this dragnet would be tough, but years of experience told me to stay calm. After the concert resumed, I took my daughter back to our seats. Just as I was thinking of a plan, a floor panel opened behind us for a guest invited by the star. I was immediately drawn to that passage. It clearly led backstage and might be my way out. I pretended to ask my daughter if she wanted an autograph, but she worried it might cause trouble. While I hesitated, the passage closed, forcing me to wait for another chance. Using the excuse of picking up a reserved shirt, I actually planned to follow a vendor into the staff corridor to escape. When the vendor mentioned needing to restock the warehouse, I offered to help carry items. Using his staff card, I got into the warehouse, but it had no exit. While helping him move stock, I quietly stole his staff card. What I didn't expect was that this guy was actually a fan of mine. He knew every detail of my kills, and even bragged that all the staff were undercover, requiring a code phrase with the police to move around. Playing shocked, I easily got the code from him. With the staff card, I entered the staff corridor, only to find a SWAT team planning how to catch the butcher. I stayed calm, walked right past them, pretending to get coffee, eavesdropped on their plan, and swiped a radio on my way out. Back with my daughter, I tuned into the police channel and heard them describing the butcher, a white male around 40 with a rabbit tattoo on his arm. I quickly grabbed a wristband to cover the rabbit tattoo on my arm. After checking the venue map, I lied about losing my bank card and needing to look for it outside. Soon, I took my daughter to an exit, but just as I was about to pull the fire alarm, a female officer's voice came over the radio. If the butcher causes a panic or triggers the alarm, let all women and children exit first. The police had thought of everything. I stepped back and looked toward a nearby terrace instead. I noticed a staff member frying chicken nearby, and when she stepped away, I slipped 2 soda bottles into the fryer. When she returned and saw the fryer, she was stunned. In the commotion, I put on an apron and headed to the terrace, but 2 officers approached me. I quickly explained I was just getting some air after the fryer incident. Hearing the same update on their radios, they bought it. Back at the concert, I grew more anxious until the star announced she'd pick a fan to sing with her on stage. I knew this was my chance to get backstage without raising suspicion. I found an event staffer and lied, saying my daughter had leukemia and her only wish was to sing with her idol. Once again, my acting skills were flawless, the staff believed me, and my daughter was chosen as her parent. I was allowed backstage without question. Right then, the radio crackled again. Since they still hadn't found the butcher, police now suspected he might be disguised as staff. Just as I thought I was trapped, the star suddenly started walking toward us, and in that moment, a perfect escape plan flashed through my mind. I was at the concert when it hit me.
Did you know that in Greek mythology, a goddess once turned a man into a deer so his own dogs would eat him alive? This is the story of Actaeon, a young hunter who made the worst mistake of his life. He was tracking a deer through the forest when he stumbled into a hidden grove. There, bathing in a crystal pool, was Artemis, the virgin goddess of the hunt. She was completely naked. The moment her eyes met his, pure rage exploded across her face. No mortal was allowed to see her like this, ever. Before Actaeon could even apologize, she splashed the sacred water on him and screamed a curse. His body began to change. Antlers sprouted from his head. His hands became hooves. His skin turned to fur. He tried to scream for help, but only deer sounds came out. Then he heard them, his own hunting dogs following his scent. Actaeon ran in terror, but they caught him. His beloved pack, who had hunted beside him for years, tore him apart piece by piece. He was fully aware the entire time, all because he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. Did you know that in Greek mythology, a goddess once turned a man into a deer so his own dogs would eat him alive? This is the story of Actaeon, a young hunter who made the worst mistake of his life. He was tracking a deer through the forest when he stumbled into a hidden grove. There, bathing in a crystal pool, was Artemis, the virgin goddess of the hunt. She was completely naked. The moment her eyes met his, pure rage exploded across her face. No mortal was allowed to see her like this.
Someone's controlling you! Dad! Dad, tell me how to stop them!
Mark.
Let my dad go! Let him go!
Stop.
It's me, Mark. It's just me. This isn't how I wanted to do this, but I don't have a choice. It's time for you to know where I really come from. I am from Viltrum, but it's not the planet I've told you about. We have created a perfect civilization, but it took all of our strength, determination, and courage.
In the beginning,
Today, guys, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and unlock C2 and complete the entire new C2 update inside of Sailor Piece. On Roblox. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead.
If I die,
You're dead.
on my gaming PC, I loved him.
Okay.
I got you, bro.
Is it coming? I don't think so.
It came out the sky!
Oh my god. Drive! Drive!
Let's just drive away. Let's just drive away. Oh shit, it's actually coming.
You know, I'm gonna ask this once again. Are you sure you're qualified to drive?
I'm qualified to drive. I got a driver license.
No, you're not!
I know that I got it. Okay, it's actually coming. But I can't drive that fast.
Okay, Lord. Okay, we are. Ooh, something. Ooh, my leg.
I got this. I can drive.
Your cape is in my face, bro. Stop.
Storm, the only driving license you have is like the one from Legoland, am I right?
Yeah, that's probably better than yours.
Yeah, not at this point, bro.
Guys, should we actually go down there?
Can I get out my car?
Tyler,
Nope,
I'm not
I'm
sure
doing this.
that we have a choice.
Let's go.
Oh!
Wait, damn it.
The tree!
Oh shit.
How
Oh
are
shit.
we? Not the water, not again, not the...
Guys, can we actually get out of here? Can we step out the vehicle real quick?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get out of here. There's like...
Can we pay a moment's respect for someone that we lost real quick?
Yeah, that's a good
They
point.
tried fighting for us.
We're gonna get locked.
Well, a little moment of respect would be nice. You know?
I've played these games before.
Okay, guys, okay.
Do you really think this is a good idea? I feel like we're gonna crash the moment. Let's get the middle. Oh my god, I'm actually terrified. Oh, I'm actually.
Okay.
Get out of here, bro! Drive!
Okay.
Okay, so far so good.
Okay.
Alright, good, awesome.
Okay. We have a clear road.
Thank you. I do not trust your driving.
We don't have a clear road. Never mind.
Wait, go to the other side.
Yeah, the other side. Got me. Okay.
We're good to go.
Okay.
all oil miners. They're mining oil.
Miners?
Yeah, bro.
Yummy.
America.
Where are we actually going? Genuinely, where are we going?
I have no idea. Anywhere where we can like find a civilization or something like that. We at least have to find some people alive because we're the only people alive after this f***ing apocalypse.
I think me and you might have to repopulate.
Please don't.
Can I help?
Hell yeah, bro. The more the merrier.
Let's go. Are you gonna actually explain what went on here, or are you just gonna keep fucking driving, bro? Because we need no explanation. How did we all get here?
You guys do remember what happened with the sun?
The sun got red when it got down, or the sun is just in general very dangerous?
The sun lost its power. It's kind of burning out.
Right. Why do you have your turn signal on?
Don't mind the turn signal. We're gonna take a long swig and we're gonna do this. We're gonna get this jump.
Has ever documented before. On the 5th page, however, there is a cryptic phrase, along with the same set of coordinates repeated over and over. This continues on for almost 10 pages. There's a lot of coordinates, obviously too many to follow, so he says he's going to start with the repeating ones, as he feels the most drawn to them personally. He's confused as to why Thurston would single those out specifically. He then says he doesn't think he should, but then undercuts it by saying he's going to go tomorrow. Interesting. Video 4 has a bit of a different feel to it right from the start. It's no longer titled episodically like the others, it's just called NVIDIA Replay Date. It's almost like he stopped thinking about the presentation entirely. And at 52 minutes long, this is by far the longest video he's uploaded. Whatever happens in this one, Rust was in it for a while. The video opens up this time a lot more formulaically than the other ones have. Rust is introducing himself here, and he gives us an update on his dreams, or rather the lack of an update, as he has still not dreamt. But then he says something insane. Don't think I didn't see you watching me. I don't know why I typed that. Anyway, I must be missing something because I do not recall anybody watching footage I did not show you guys because I skipped through it. There is a red-robed figure, guys, because I skipped. Continues on his way. Correct me if thing is for allowed to react. It seems like the only thing he's allowed to do is follow the coordinates, which he does. Before Russ can even properly begin on his journey, he's already noticing strange quartz blocks up ahead, misplaced. In front of him, there are 2 white pergolas and 2 sandstone fountains, as well as a hedge fence all the way around. This is not a naturally occurring structure. Russ decides to see what's beyond the hedge fence, and what he sees next is unexplainable. Is unexplainable. Robed figures, which match the figure that was following Rust in the woods, are at a garden. Rust decides to go down and investigate, but they are gone. Nowhere to be found, like they vanished into thin air. Serene and beautiful, like it's still. You may notice the statue in the center matches the cephalopod statues that we've been seeing throughout Rust recordings. So, this is clearly not a place of peace, but a place of ritual. Rust documents the coordinates anyway and continues on.
We have been trying to stop this process for 2 years. 2 years. My daughter used to call me, remember my this. We are parents and siblings, and we're told that we're screaming. We have watched you walk past us like we were not screaming. We have watched you walk past us like we did, but we were wrong. We are leaving this here because we have nothing left to choose. If you can still hear us, run. Not for
process. Kinda just gonna walk with something like he's going to do. No reason at all. That was undoubtedly a person, more specifically a woman, behind Rust. I saw that. This is a single-player world. Rust types the words, "I should leave," but then deletes them and says, "Okay, let's play this game." And what that thing is, but laid clear. You should always do. On this bridge, there are several things along the side that are notable. There are more monoliths and even those diorite trees that were on that first island. But Rust, he pays it no mind. Light-headed. What happened? I'm drooling all over myself. Emma again. Rust crashes Emma again. It's like Rust is blinking in and out of consciousness, but something even crazier happens next. He finally sees the polished diorite tree, even though, as we pointed out, they've been there the entire time. Somehow, he only notices it now. He continues to move forward, but those blackouts keep reoccurring. Even at one point, he types in the chat to confirm this. He tries to explain what it feels like mid-sentence, almost mechanically, like he's locked onto a track that he didn't choose. The path, he doesn't acknowledge it at all. He just keeps moving forward. The terrain, it's starting to change. The path is now lined with chiseled tuff, moss, and polished andesite. This is no longer just a random those coordinates. And you may have noticed that house in the distance, but just before Rust can reach it, he walks straight into the water and sits there for a moment before
doctor or something.
But nearly immediately he contradicts himself.
I'm fine. Gotta keep going.
Rust keeps pushing forward until he runs directly into the house. The sudden stop, however, seems to snap him out of whatever trance he was in. Rust finally acknowledges the house as if it wasn't. He realizes they're empty. Structure sitting alone